Good morning, friends. So I thought I would bring you along with me today while I get our dinner ready. It's Wednesday, so that means that we have our homeschool group that we go hang out with, and so I'm not home for a lot of the day. This is one of my slow cooker crock pot days, and I had some requests for a video or something to show you guys how I do some of these recipes, so I thought today was a perfect option. Obviously, I am by no means a professional at this, so you will have to bear with me. Today I am making, I guess I don't even really know what you would call it. It's like a fiesta chicken, Mexican chicken type dish. And I'm going to do that in my slow cooker. Now, this little thing here, my grandmother had tried to get me to get one for years. I had my big crock pot. I was like, I don't need it. It would just take up space. I don't really think I'd use it. It kind of does the same thing that my crock pot does, and I'm not going to mess with it. So finally this year for Christmas, she just bought me one, and I love it. Like, I really wish that I hadn't have waited so long to get it. It cooks faster than my crock pot, and things are so much more tender, and they just taste better. So that's what we're going to use today. Let's go ahead and get started. So I just have chicken breast that I buy fresh, and then I trim and divide up and freeze. So these are frozen, and that works just fine for this. So we're going to take them out of the bag and put them in the slow cooker here. Okay. Now, I am a bit weird about touching meat and stuff like that. It just completely grosses me out. So I'm going to pause here and go wash my hands. I will be right back. Okay, I am back. So the next thing that we are going to do is we're going to add our vegetables to the slow cooker. And here's what I add. I do black beans, diced tomatoes, and corn. I like the white and yellow corn if you can find it. This is what I had, so this is what I'm using. And you will notice too that some of these cans are organic. Some of the ingredients that I use today are organic. It does not matter what you use. Our family is just making a switch to all organic, and so as I need new, I'm just buying the organic. That's why some are and some are not, and we're totally okay with that for right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open all these cans up, put them in my colander, and rinse everything all together. I'm having to open a brand new can opener because mine disappeared. And such is life with little boys. You never really know where your stuff's going to end up. Sometimes it's important things. So here we go. Okay, so we've got our rinsed vegetables here. We're just going to go ahead and dump that in. Looks like that. And then now I'm going to go ahead and add the seasonings. I use a packet of ranch, the dry ranch dressing. You just sprinkle that on top like this. And then, of course, I have to add my own stuff too. So onion powder, chili powder, paprika. If you have the smoked paprika, it's really better. And then garlic powder. So you just get a decent amount of all of those on there. Of course, you can add whatever you like. If you don't like some of this stuff, of course, you can leave it out. It's not a big deal. Personally, I do not like black pepper. So very rarely do I add it to any of my recipes. If you do, feel free to go ahead and add it to yours. And then I add salt, and we're just using the pink Himalayan salt. And that is the coarse ground salt, so I promise I did not put as much on there as it seemed like I did. And then I pour on some chicken broth, and I make sure that I always use the reduced sodium. It just keeps some of that extra salt out of there for you. Same thing with rinsing your vegetables. It just kind of gets rid of all the extra gunk and preservatives and salt and everything that they add to it. Now, how much of the chicken broth that you add is just really kind of up to you. And I'll bring you over here and show you so you can tell exactly how much I've got in here. It's about halfway up the chicken breast. I pour it over the top and then along the sides there. Now, a lot of these recipes or recipes similar to this that you can find on like Pinterest include cream cheese, something like that to make it a little bit thicker. I don't do that. We eat ours, it's almost more of kind of a brothy soup. Once this is done and cooked, the chicken shreds up really easy. Sorry, I had to go resituate a baby sitting over there, so real life. But we'll go ahead and put the lid on here, and I turn mine up to about medium heat and then just let it cook for the rest of the day. It'll be done, probably a little bit before supper, but then you can turn it down and it just kind of simmers in there and gets real juicy and tender. And like I said, it'll like fall apart. That chicken will just fall apart. So I kind of just stir it up. We can eat it over rice. Sometimes we will eat it like with tortilla chips, kind of as a dip. If you want to eat it as a soup, you could always just pour in more of the chicken broth and some extra water and kind of make your base like that. Or you could use a cream cheese, whichever you prefer, but this is how I do it. And so I will show y'all what it looks like tonight when it's all finished. Okay, so it is about 5 o'clock. This has been cooking all day and we're ready to eat. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it ready to get plated up here. So it is simmering real good in here. I don't know if you can see that. I'm gonna finish shredding it up. Like this. I've done a little bit of shredding on the chicken kind of all day as it's cooked. There's still some big chunks in here. All right. Okay, so now that I've got that shredded and ready to go, I have put some just plain tortilla chips in my bowl. I'm going to use a big ladle to dish some out. You want to be sure that you get plenty of juice in your bowl. And then we're going to top it. I've got some salsa. Just any salsa that you like will do. I've got some freshly sliced avocado here. And then just some shredded cheese. There again, whatever shredded cheese you prefer works perfectly fine. there you go. It is ready.